Well, folks, it looks like Scottie Pippen is finally saying what a lot of us fans think. LeBron James is soft. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charles Advancement. Welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, and entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. So today, folks, we got a crazy show for y'all. We got a crazy show for y'all today. As you guys know, we are living in the cupcake era. The cupcake era. These dudes out here is sweet and sensitive. The two S's, sweet and sensitive. That's what these NBA players have turned into. It has been one of the biggest embarrassments to watch. And I'm gonna say what a lot of guys are thinking. Not all, because some guys love it, but what some other group of guys are thinking. This current era of dudes, these new dudes, is just some unbelievable. These new dudes is something you just don't believe. We're living in the most sensitive era in the history of the world, especially in the United States when it comes to this group of men that we have here today are the most sensitive group. How do I know? Everybody, for example, to give you guys an example, everybody, not everybody, but these new, most of them are afraid of a fade. Most of them are afraid of a fade. I was watching a video. Two dudes were scrapping. One dude's whooping his ass. Next thing you know, he pull out a burner. He can't deal with the ass whooping. He can't deal with it. He too fragile. He too emotionally fragile. Dudes don't even scrap no more. You know, when you was in school, somebody look at you, or you outside, somebody looking like, yo, what you looking at? Next thing you know, you scrap. I fought a lot in the Bronx and all. Not saying I'm no triple OG. I am not. Trust and believe. I am not. None of that. But you weren't afraid to throw your hands and fight. No, nah. Ain't nobody throwing no hands. Everybody afraid to get an ass whooping. Everybody's afraid. Everybody is so sensitive. If you say anything about me, oh, you done hurt my feelings, and oh my God, what's going on? I don't get it. Oh my Lord, what are they saying about me? They say, oh, you a hater, blah, blah, blah. That's all it is right now. Where am I getting to? I am getting to a culture that permeates within the NBA. And it is destroying the fabric of the league. I was watching this segment. This is something we weren't even going to do. I was literally getting ready to shoot, and I'm listening to this in the background. I'm like, yo, we got to do another video about this. This is fantastic material. So as I'm watching it, Patrick Bet-David, who's an NBA fan, is talking to Scottie Pippen and says, look, I don't like the direction that the NBA is going in. The players seem to thumb their nose at the NBA fans. We all know this. We all know this. They have zero respect and regard. Hence the reason, look, it is to the point where they tell you, if you're an NBA fan, you didn't play in the NBA, you don't even deserve to have an opinion. Imagine the people that are the reason that you make millions and millions of dollars that allowed the league to now sign a $77 billion deal by going to the games, paying for paraphernalia and merchandise and all of that, watching the games on TV. They're not allowed to have an opinion. You're just supposed to sit there, shut up, and enjoy it. Imagine walking to a restaurant and you're like, they bring you a meal, like, but I don't like it, and the chef walks out. You are not qualified to be talking about what's a good meal and not a good meal. The only people I listen to are my fellow chefs. And if you're not a chef, you don't have the right to. And it's like, yo, bro, I know you a chef, but this here don't taste good. And the product that we're looking at don't look good. You can talk all of that nonsense about how you did this and did that. At the end of the day, since I'm paying, I got a right to speak. Hell, I may have a bigger right to speak than your ass. Where am I going to? They're talking about this, and they're talking about the weakness in the league. And then Scottie Pippen starts talking about players that get NBA fans thrown out of the games, that are soft for getting fans. And I'm like, who does this? None other than LeBron James, the king of sensitive. So what we want to do is want to play exactly what Scottie Pippen had to say about these NBA players that are so soft and sensitive that get NBA fans thrown out of the game, out of NBA games. Take a listen to what Scottie Pippen had to say here.
Yeah, well, it's truly a different game. The players are a lot more sensitive in a sense that they don't want any reaction with the fans. They don't want the fans having any type of camaraderie with them at all. They always feel that fans are a threat, and they have sort of, to me, they have separated themselves. It's the players and it's the fans. And if you say something to me, it better be nice, or I'm going to have you removed from the arena.
How do you feel about that?
I think it's bad. I think it's bad that players cannot take criticism. I used to love going in the stands and having people call me out of my name.
Yeah, didn't you call out, what's his name, when you dunked on Ewing and you shoved him, and who was on the sideline? Spike, yeah.
Yeah, so I embrace the fans being a part of, getting at me, trying to aggravate me. Now, I don't see that, I don't see how you
Whose fault is that? Is that Adam Silver that accepts it? Because that comes from the top. Like, kids can cry and say anything, but father and mother can say, no, toughen up.
I can't say where that come from, but I can say that the game misses that. They miss that irritating fan. They miss that heckler that was irritating you and caused you to miss your free throws.
Yeah.
Those are things that, were a part of the game when I played.
But by the way, just out of curiosity, who were some of the toughest guys? Like, remember that one time Vernon Maxwell and Vernon ran up to the 16th row of that one game? I don't know if you remember that or not. Do you remember that?
I don't remember Vernon, but Vernon was one of the toughest guys. He's a very close friend of mine. And yeah, he was a tough guy. But I mean, there was a lot of guys played in the league, and that,
I'm talking like street tough, like tough.
Yeah, I mean, but street tough can't go up in the stands. You know what I'm saying? We still have to be professional.
I fully agree.
But there are guys who've gotten out of order and out of hand. But, the commissioner has always been able to take care of that and keep things in order. But I think now the fans are so afraid that they can't even call a player out in any bad way that
stop it
is looked at as a threat.
I say it comes from LeBron down to the league. I know you can't say that. It's not something that you're going to be seen as an analyst, and Barkley will say it. Some of these guys will say it, but I think it comes from the top down.
So you heard what Scottie Pippen had to say. Talking about these players are sensitive. They're soft. They can't even take criticism. He's describing the modern day man. He is describing the modern day man. That's what he says. And the saddest part about what he's saying is that you got older dudes in their late 30s, early 40s, 50s that refuse to grow up and be men. So therefore they defend this stupid nonsense. And they try to make excuses for it. No, man, let these young live. Let them live. Let the young boys live. It's like, yo, son, you're 45. Go get over it. So you got the older dudes that's trying to be like the young dudes, and the young dudes are like this. So where are the men? Where are the men? This is the reason why you can see these bozo antics that go on online, dudes turning into Kim Kardashian. They're all like, yo, where the grown men at? Where the grown men at? And if you can't take NBA fans heckling you, that means you can't take authority or any kind of male leadership in your life. Because male figures in your life, yeah, they're going to love you and all of that, but there going to be some times where they're going to have to keep it a buck with your ass. Where they're going to have to keep it a buck. I'll give you guys a quick story. My pops, I forgot what year it was. And I was trying to figure out my life at the time or whatever it is. And I thought I was doing something, whatever. So I talked to my father. And I was like, I feel like I'm doing so much and da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, you don't feel like I'm making an effort? I'm not doing anything. My father looked me right in the face and said to me, I don't feel like you're doing anything with your life. I don't feel like it. I feel like you're not doing anything with your life. This is what my father said to me. Now, was it painful? Of course it was painful. One, because of what it was said. Two, because of who it came from. But if I was a weak ass dude, only a weak man will hear constructive criticism. A criticism that has no benefit to the person giving it. and hear that and say, you hating on me, that means you weak. Let me repeat, you are weak. If you cannot take criticism from another man that's ahead of you, that has more experience than you, that has gone further than you, that's maybe you're trying to get to where they are, that means you weak. You emotionally weak. You're weak. You're weak. You mean to tell me that if you're playing an NBA game and people are saying crazy stuff to you and you can't block it out? Do you know how many people Kobe would have gotten thrown out of the game when that lawsuit was against him? Kobe was talking about in the documentary in the news. He's like, I hear this stuff that people are saying. I hear this stuff. If Kobe was as weak as these dudes, he would have been getting 20 fans thrown out a game because they said something he didn't want to hear. It's called manning up. It's called manning the hell up. That's what it's called. They said mean words to you. So what? So freaking what? And the problem is, and I'm going to say this because it's a larger societal issue, because men today are so sensitive and so emotionally fragile and weak, the minute somebody says anything to them that they deem as hurtful to their feelings, they react. Some of them react to violence. Literally. There are people that are taking each other's lives over words. Words, not physical harm, not an imminent threat. Words. And if you're that emotional about things, you ain't gonna be here for long. You not. It's just the reality, because you may be feeling a type of way. Oh, he said that to me, I'm getting him up out of here. And then you gonna say something to somebody else and they're not gonna tolerate. They're gonna have a shorter fuse than you and you gonna be up out of here. And the circle just keeps on going on. The ego is fragile. It's fragile. This is one of the problems. I'm keeping it 100. This is one of the issues. This weak, soft, sensitive mentality. It is. It's not tough. It's weak. This is the reality. So when you got NBA players throwing out fans and we're gonna take enough of it. We're gonna take enough. You look weak, son. You look weak. You look weak. And those are dudes that's not really felt force before. You haven't felt for. I was watching a video of Kenyon Martin talking about a cop pulled him over with his wife, I think for something, and he started cursing at the cop. You can only get away with that in America. You can only get away with that in America. You try that in Nigeria. Just to give you one example, let a police pull you over, and you want to start puffing up your blah blah. They're gonna blow your ass out the car, and that'll be the end of it. Let them stop you at night at a police checkpoint. You going somewhere and why you stopping me for? You go ahead and do that and see what's going to happen. The point of the matter is, it's authority. He going to say something, I don't like him. He going to say something that pissed me off. One time I was driving with my wife at night and I was coming from somewhere. And he was like, oh, like, my wife was in the car. And he was like, oh, Mr. Madan, you're looking nice. And I looked at him like, yo, this dude just said like, yo, your wife is looking very beautiful. I was tight. So what I'm going to do? A sensitive dude, you gonna talk to my wife like that? Let me open up the door. Pop, 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 pop. He's out of here. He's done. Next car, move up, please. As we're moving on, I was like, I don't like what that dude said to me. She told me, these guys, don't quarrel with them. Don't quarrel with them because some of them are just looking for a reason. They just looking for a reason. That's wisdom. But a weak dude, because ain't no examples of it. You see enough examples, you stop. These are my thoughts. That's exactly how I feel. Some people gonna feel a type of way. I don't care. I'ma keep it a buck. We have a problem with men today because they're too sensitive. Way too sensitive over words. These are my thoughts. Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. We catch you guys. And then finally, LeBron, for as rich as you are, you're a billionaire. Hold up. You are worth billions. You got all of these people running up and giving you all these. Somebody say something to you, that gonna affect you? You can't look at them up and be like, yo, I'm LeBron James and what? Like, yo, man, please, man, watch out. Watch out. Like, I ain't listening to you. I'm LeBron James. You gonna let some dude, man, yo, I'm out. Catch y'all later. I'm out. Peace.